Hello Arnab, it's Nick Weber from CAI. I'm going to be showing you a video here on the next time I'm going to be sending to you. This is ConwayMA. They've got 1,483 parcels on 24 maps. There's a 400 scale and 2400 scale maps. This should be a fairly straightforward town. It might get a little complicated here. We've got a few source data for you. We've got the Conway data, which is a geodatabase that we've received from the town. We've got the ConwayMA geodatabase here. That is the empty CAI data model that you're going to be putting data into. And then the MassGIS geodatabase here that you'll be taking data out of. So you'll be taking data out of these two geodatabases and kind of combining them and putting them into the CI data model. I do have some PDFs that I've scanned for you. Unfortunately, they're not that great. You can kind of ignore any sort of markups here. There's some blue and some pencil here, as you can see down on this map. I actually do not even have all of them. It appears like I'm missing a couple. If I do get any better source PDFs, I'll send them to you. I'm really just thinking you'll use these for references for line types and maybe taking a quick peek and making sure all of the information is captured that's on these maps. Going through the data here, we want you to use the MassGIS database, tax par, other legal, and miscellaneous features. Bring those in to the data model as the base. You can zoom in here and take a peek. You'll see this data is pretty good. It's MassGIS compliant. And for the most part, it matches up with the data from the town. But there are a few things that we need to point out. First, the annotation, if you can bring that across and adjust it to kind of line up with the lines. You'll see in some areas that it lines up really well, and in others it's not as good. There are multiple annotation classes here. There's dimensions, so that looks again appears to be the distances for all the lines. Good error message error for you. The parcel numbers and acreages, and then there's this annotation all that does have duplicate lot and acreage information. For the most part, I would say that the anno parcel looks to be a little cleaner, a little nicer looking, but I have seen in a couple areas where anno parcel appears to be missing text that exists in anno all. So I'll let you guys kind of make the decision as to what you want to use, but I'd be apt to say anno parcel might be the better bet. There's rivers, buildings, and an index grid that exist here in this town. So there's quite a bit of data here for you to use and not have to digitize and capture. The index grid is nice and clean. There's no rotation going on here, so you'll be able to use these grids and you could also use that for the index mask as well. You'll be using the town geodatabase. Zoom in here. To kind of lay in the background, and we're going to ask you to kind of adjust this yellow here. So this is the MassGIS geodatabase in yellow and the town data in red. They've done some work to the town data, so that's a little more current, and we need to update the MassGIS geodatabase to match the town geodatabase. However, unfortunately, we couldn't just use that because they have tweaked the town boundaries in areas and they've removed the roads. So the town data is a little too dirty for us to be able to use for MassGIS. So when you do kind of digitize this area, please do not adjust the yellow town boundary at all. I know it won't match the town data, but we do need to keep that town boundary here for other. But you can, all of these lines can be adjusted to match the red as long as up here. And there's not a whole lot of these. You should be able to use the last edit date field in the tax par from the town. It looks like anything with a date from 2012. Let's see if I can pick the right one here. So you'll see here in the geodatabase, these should have, and of course these all have 2011. But I do know in some areas that 2012 is actually newer than anything that's in the MassGIS geodatabase. So could be confusing to kind of bounce back and forth between the two. But that is what we need to take care of there. And you can actually see this didn't change at all. But for the most part, they match up pretty well. There might be there's a few spots where they've adjusted it. So if you could take care of that for us. And again, adjusting annotation. Otherwise, it should be pretty straightforward. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. And I think that will take care of it. Have a good day.